I really love being a Sons of Ben. I really love being a board member. I'm really proud of all the work that we do all the time. It I say all the time, I never wanted to be a person that made something their entire personality. The Sons of Ben and the Philadelphia Union are like 80% of my personality. Anytime anyone's like, what are you doing, Rachel? I'm like, it's soccer season. They're like, you're at a Union game. You're at a Union game. That's all you do now. And I'm like, that is all I do. So I was like a very active, angry young child. And I had a neighbor that went to my mom and was like, listen, if we don't get her to do something, this girl is going to get herself in trouble. And so he was like, I'll take her to all the practices. I'll do whatever. You just have to sign her up. And thankfully, my mom listened. And I started that in like second grade. And it took off from there. I started just like in a local rec league. And then I went to travel league and high school soccer, and I played for a men's league and a women's league and indoor. And it was just something that I was like, oh, I wasn't naturally good at it. I had to really work at it, but I really liked it. And I think just that team aspect of it was awesome. It gave me an outlet to be angry when I wanted to be angry and just have fun when I wanted to have fun. And so it worked for me. And I was just lucky enough to have people around me that said, hey, this is something we should do. I was lucky that I was able to learn about the union early. So I was like at the link in those early seasons. And again, it's because I had soccer coaches that were already involved. They were involved, a little bit obviously before I was, because I was young, not crazy young, but younger. So I wasn't old enough to like figure out this stuff by myself. But I had the coaches that were like, hey, Philly got a team. We're going to the link to see it. The team's going, you're going. And so that's what it looked like for me. And so those early seasons, it was just me going to the link, going to meet and greets, and the union, because it's so new, them most didn't really want to give Philly a team, but you go to meet and greets and you're just hanging out with players because nobody's there for this meet and greet. So I'm like a 16-year-old girl hanging out with these players that like know my name. And it was so cool to me. It was so cool to me to be able to see these players that I admired so much and just hang out. And they were like real people. And so this sport that I actually understood, there's players that I know their name. And now I'm watching them go from a football field to their own field that was down the street from my house. It had to happen eventually. Like for any team to win a supporter shield, I just think it had to be like the union had to. I mean, you have this group, the Sons of Ben, that like helped make this team, that helped bring this team, and has stood behind this team when they sucked. They stood behind this team through drama and bad coaches, drama with players, through a city, even, the union are fighting for a spot amongst the Philly sports. We still aren't on some of the shirts sometimes. And then this team goes out with the supporter shield. I don't think there was like one person not crying. I just think it was this moment of like you finally got to breathe because you've been holding your breath and holding your hopes for so long that finally this dream you've dreamt of for so long becomes a reality. I think it's important to have that release, and important to have something to, hope for and to cling for and to root for. And so that's what it is for me. It's just always been something that I am just so I'm proud of every single aspect of it. I'm proud of how we started. I'm proud of where we are, and I'm going to be proud of where we're going. And the fact that I get to be even like a little glimpse of the story of them and a little part of this matters so much to me. I just think, like I said, it's part of my identity. It's part of who I am. And I never wanted to be that person, but here I am. And, I love it. It just really does take up so much of my heart and so much of my joy. It's something that I can talk about endlessly.